What's going on, guys? We're gonna get started with a different video than we usually do. We're gonna be doing Marvel Cinematic Universe tier list, all 23 movies. We're gonna be ranking, me and Johnny. I'm gonna go first, and yeah, we're just gonna see. Let us know in the comments your opinion, of course. But this is our personal list of things. So, starting with. I'm going to start in order. So let's go with the first Iron Man movie. I'm going to rank this at an A tier. I feel like it's pretty obvious why. It basically started the whole universe. The whole story behind it and the movie itself just holds its own. So I feel like that simple enough. It was an amazing movie. And just a really fun ride. And Robert Downey Jr. put together a great performance with Jeff Bridges as the villain. Just a great performance all around. Although Jeff Bridges' villain could have been developed a little bit better, it started the MCU, so I feel like you got to give it a little bit more appreciation than the other ones. Now next up would be the Incredible Hulk. My favorite superhero is the Hulk, but unfortunately I don't think that this really fits in with the MCU, so I'm gonna put it at C for now. It was a pretty average film anyways. As a little kid, of course, you like the action movie and everything, but after watching it, being grown up and seeing all the other movies going out, it was really just almost average to below average, but I'm going to put it in average just because it was one of those first few movies, and although Norton is not in the MCU, really, it was a big start to that, and so yeah, you got to show a little bit of appreciation, you know? Now we have Iron Man 2. I don't know where that is. Is that it? Yeah, Iron Man 2. I would put this also at a C tier, just because from the first movie down to the second, it was definitely a step back. Whiplash was a decent villain, but he wasn't really developed, and of course, just everything about the movie, you know, it was good. I would say it was good. I enjoyed it as a kid, but I would put it was pretty average. It was nothing like amazing. Didn't like blow you away or anything. So next up would be Captain America, the First Avenger. Let me see, where is that? I don't know why I can't find these. Right here. I would put it at between B or A, because it was just a really good movie. I'm gonna put it. We might switch these, but I'm gonna put it at A for now. I think it was just a really good movie, honestly, and you know, it perfectly depicted his backstory. Although some comic book readers would have some critiques about it, I feel like it did a really good job of basically turning his backstory into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and really hyped us up for the future Avengers initiative and the first movie. So I feel like I'm going to put it at an A. So yeah, I mean, not much explanation needed. I think it was a pretty good movie. Thor, the first movie, you know, I feel like Thor's series generally gets a lot of hate. I'm gonna put it at B tier. I thought it was pretty decent myself. You know, I feel like a lot of people put it at C or D tier even at some points, but I feel like it was pretty good. Loki as a villain was pretty decent. Of course, he's seen throughout the entire universe, so we don't see the last of him in the movie. And you know, I thought it was a pretty action-packed movie. You know, just from an audience standpoint, I thought it was a generally decent movie, and you get exactly what's going on through the entire thing. And you know, I feel like that's just enough to put it at a B, just above average in my opinion. So that would lead up to the first Avengers movie, which is a pretty obvious S tier, I believe. I mean, it was. I feel like everyone would say, a lot of people would say for the longest time it was their favorite movie of all time. A lot of people that I know, at least, it was a combination of all heroes and against Loki, who was a very excellent villain. And you know, I feel like there's not too much explaining it. It was just a very successful movie in the theaters. I feel like in reviews, everything. I feel like it was just generally a really good movie. I would put that at the S tier. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna move Captain America back down to the B tier. And Thor might be subject to moving too, after the Captain America move, but I'm just thinking that I'm more comfortable with that now. That would bring up next. That would bring up Iron Man 3, I believe. I would say that's C tier. Again, a lot of people don't like it. I didn't see the problem with it. I thought it was a really good movie. A lot of people hated on it, actually. I feel like they said it was worse than the first two. I feel like 2 and 3 can kind of go hand in hand. I know it's a weird story, and Aldrich Killian was the Mandarin. I mean, that whole villain thing was very, I don't know, bothered me too. I mean, the Mandarin as a villain himself would have been so cool to experience, and we didn't get to. But I feel like just everything in the plot, and obviously Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. does an excellent job playing him, and there was a lot of funny moments, and just I feel like it was just a decent movie to watch, and you could definitely enjoy it even before watching the first two and the Avengers. So why not put it at least at C tier? I think it's a pretty average movie. And then that brings me to Thor: The Dark World, I believe, or Captain America: Winter Soldier. Which one would that be, Johnny? Captain America 2 or Thor 2? I would say Thor 2. Well, this is my first D tier movie. The bottom tier, obviously, I don't know. Nothing really about it got me like excited and everything. I mean, yeah, okay. I don't know. It didn't really. It's a tough one to watch, honestly. I remember I was trying to watch the MCU with my girlfriend, and that movie was definitely the toughest one to push through. We haven't finished yet, but that one it has to be bottom tier just due to everything about it. But of course, it gets better throughout Thor's story himself. But after Thor 2 is obviously Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which would be at least A tier. I think it could be S tier, but due to a lot of other ones that I'm really happy with, I feel like S tier should be limited. And Captain America: Winter Soldier, just amazing movie. Everything, the storyline, Steve's character. I mean, Chris Evans playing Steve. That whole thing. Just everything about this movie was exciting. There was action. There was drama. A little bit of comedy. Everything about it was just great. And the introduction of the Falcon was really cool to see in that movie. So I'm really happy with that. And that should bring us to either of Guardians. Oh, Guardians. Oh my goodness, how could I forget? Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. That very underrated movie. A lot of people did not expect it to do as well before it came out, and I'm gonna put that also at A tier. Amazing movie. I loved every bit of it. It was my favorite movie for the longest time. It's in my top 3 favorite MCU movies, but that's my personal opinion. This is more of a, after seeing ratings, box office, all that. I think that Guardians of the Galaxy was pretty great. And a lot of people could agree with me on that. But obviously it's not S tier compared to some other things once we get to that. After Guardians, would that be Avengers: Age of Ultron? Guardians of the Galaxy didn't come out. Guardians 1 and then Guardians 2.
No. Oh, you're talking about that order?
First Guardians.
I thought you were talking about like watching order.
Oh, no. I meant Captain America: The Winter Soldier. After that would come Avengers 2. Age of Ultron, obviously. I'm just trying to make it simple. Either way, we're just going to do Avengers: Age of Ultron. Definitely not the most accurate timeline. I'm not sure. Obviously, Guardians. Oh, I am? Okay. Avengers: Age of Ultron. I don't know. I didn't hate it as much as some other people. I wouldn't put it at B tier. But now that I think about it, Thor is a very average movie too. So I'm gonna move Thor down. Age of Ultron is also gonna be in C tier. I think it's a generally average movie. Ultron was not the guy that people wanted. Comic book readers, Marvel fanatics, all that. So I'm gonna put him at C. Obviously, there's theories of Ultron coming back in a lot of different ways, so that could be exciting. But for the movie itself, I'm gonna put it at C tier, and that would bring us to the next one. Would be Ant-Man. Okay, Ant-Man. I think that was I'm gonna put it at. I don't think it was. This is a tough one. I'm gonna put it at B for now. I thought it was pretty funny. Paul Rudd obviously is not, a ripped action star, but he's funny. Everything in the story kind of just plays into the character of Scott Lang, and I personally liked it a lot. And obviously the second one didn't live up to quite as much as the first one, but I'm gonna put it at B for now. I feel like I've been a little bit too heavy on the C's so far, but at the same time, I thought it was just a pretty decent movie. It kind of flew under the radar compared to other box office things like Age of Ultron obviously overdid.
League, what do we have?
Well, the first one is a pretty obvious one due to recent reports Deshaun Watson. A lot of trade rumors going on with...
I was just looking for the sports channel, Gary.
Okay, so we left off on Ant-Man. I just had to take a quick, brief bathroom break. So Ant-Man, right after Ant-Man, we are at... what is this, like Black Panther, you think, John? Civil War. Before Black Panther? And then Doctor Strange after Black Panther. Okay, Civil War.
Black Panther's not for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's surprising. Oh, because Ragnarok too, yeah. Alright. Civil War, easily S tier. That is probably in my top 3 favorite MCU movies personally. Guardians of the Galaxy, Civil War, and then another one coming up that I'm probably going to rank at least S or A tier. But Civil War, just an amazing movie, obviously. Everyone in it, a lot of great character development, and it was lacking a little bit of the true comic book Civil War ending, but there's a lot of things that were lacking in most of these movies, comic book wise. But at the same time, it was just a really great movie. Tony Stark and Steve Rogers were going at it. It really showed how the Avengers split up, which is a big part that they needed to achieve, and everyone in the story was pretty well developed. You could say, like, the characters were well thought of, all of them throughout. Some of them might have been a little bit ignored, but I feel like it was generally a really good movie, and the action was there, the drama, everything. I mean, I know I say that a lot, but it did really well in the box office, obviously really well in the ratings. It was one of the best MCU movies of all time. I put that S tier. Now, after Civil War came Doctor Strange. Okay, Doctor Strange, I'm going to put that at... I'm going to put that at C tier. It could go up to B. I watched this a couple times. It was a little bit boring at some points for me, honestly. Obviously, I'm not an avid comic book reader, and Doctor Strange is one of the more powerful people in the MCU, but the origin story, I don't know. Obviously, it's not one of those movies that are going to be filled with action. It's more about the development of the character, the backstory and everything. Obviously, unlike the other ones where they were all punching and everything, he was, learning how to do this process. And, it was a good movie. I might put it back up to B, but as a movie in general, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people forget about it, and some people might even skip over it while watching the MCU. So I'm going to put it at C. I feel like it's just an average movie. And, I can't hate it, but I don't really, point it out and say, oh, I really want to watch that, So then, would that be Guardians 2? Mm-hmm. Guardians 2. Nothing like Guardians 1. I still thought it was pretty funny and everything, but I'm going to also put that at C tier. It was just, I don't think I've watched it a couple of times. It's pretty funny. I don't think it's D tier at all. I think it's a really good movie. Not really good, obviously. I put it at C tier, but I think it's better than D, It's definitely not Thor Ragnarok. But yeah, I mean, honestly, you know what? I might put... No. Guardians of the Galaxy, pretty good. I mean, a lot of great visuals to see. And, when you're judging a movie, you can't just judge it based off of what you're... just like the story and everything. There's obviously story, there's music, there's score, there's visuals. Obviously music and score are the same thing, but actually, well, they can differ. But it was an average movie. The visuals were really cool to see, but I think it definitely didn't live up to the expectations after the first movie, and I would put it at an average level. I think C is, I think it'd be pretty average. Next up, we would have Black Panther finally. Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man, Far From Home. Homecoming, what am I saying? I'm looking at Far From Home and I say it because I'm looking at the Far From Home poster. Homecoming, I'm going to put it at a B. I think it was pretty good. I definitely don't think, I think it's not in the C tier. I think I would watch it over all of these movies down here. I really like Iron Man 3 personally, but I know certain people that would be mad if they went anywhere above C. I liked Homecoming a lot. I would definitely rewatch that. I mean, I've already rewatched it a couple times, but I think it's a really good movie. I think Tom Holland plays the character really well. Maybe we'll release a video debating who the best Spider-Man is. That might be coming up in the future with me and Johnny. But I think that Spider-Man Far From Home. Oh my gosh, I keep saying it. Spider-Man Homecoming is a very decent movie, and just definitely above average in my opinion. That would bring up now Black Panther. Would it be Black Panther? Ragnarok.
And then Black Panther.
Oh my gosh, I watched all these movies in theaters. I can't believe I don't. Ragnarok. I'm gonna put that at S tier. That is my favorite MCU movie of all time. Yes, this might have a little bit of bias, but I think everyone can agree this is one of the best MCU movies of all time. Thor, his first two movies completely flopped, I feel like, and then this one, big recovery. One of my favorite movies. It has my favorite superhero, the Incredible Hulk, in it. I think Mark Ruffalo does a great job playing the character, honestly. And just every part of that movie was great. I mean, the visuals, the music, the score, the background, the colors, the character development for Thor that we kind of missed. Everything about it gets you really hyped up for the future. It's just oh my gosh, a great movie. You can't put it anywhere else. I feel like maybe A. I mean, some people can go A, but Black Panther is up, and I'm putting that also at S tier. Yeah, I mean, everything about it is amazing. Like I said, it's the same thing as Ragnarok, honestly. The visuals, everything about it was impressive. Chadwick Boseman put on an amazing performance. Everyone in it was just great. Everyone involved, the villain, Michael B. Jordan. I mean, everyone wishes they could see more of him after that movie, which is rumored. Is it rumored, Johnny, that he can come back? Yeah, I feel like that'd be an amazing movie if he was involved in a series or anything. I mean, everyone in that movie was amazing. I love it. I love the movie. The score, Kendrick Lamar obviously put together a great album with it. I'm not sure. Yeah, obviously he made an album for it, but an amazing movie. And there's not much else to say about it. I feel like didn't it win? It won an Oscar too, didn't it? I think so. It better have. I mean, I'll get back to you guys on that if it didn't, but I'm pretty sure it did. Next up, Avengers: Infinity War.
Yes, sir.
Infinity War. I'm gonna put that at. Here's the thing. A lot of people are debating whether or not it's like Infinity War is better than Endgame. All that. I'm gonna put Infinity War will be my last S tier movie. Okay. I thought it was better than Endgame. Everything about it, the fighting. Endgame was a lot less fighting. Of course, there was the legendary last battle scene. I mean, Captain America did wield the hammer. He was worthy. And I know that was crazy, but a lot of the film was just development up to that last scene. And I feel like Infinity War, it was just action the whole time, honestly. There was just fighting. There was comedy, of course, with Guardians of the Galaxy mixing with Tony Stark and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. I feel like that scene was just amazing, and I feel like a lot of memes were pulled out of that, honestly. So I'm obviously gonna put that at S tier. These 5 movies are definitely MCU's best. I feel like the Avengers really starting. I mean, I know Iron Man really started the MCU, but the Avengers really took it off. We all knew, oh my god, this is gonna be a big thing. Civil War. The big split, everyone was talking about it. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, 2016, we were all talking about, are you Team Iron Man or Team Cap? Obviously, we didn't get the politics of it back then, but it was a huge influence on our lives even, and it was a movie. And then Thor Ragnarok, like I said before, the visuals, and same thing with Black Panther, both these go hand in hand with the visuals, the score, the acting, everything about it, perfectly developed. I mean, you couldn't ask for more in these 2 movies, and they're similar to Guardians of the Galaxy. These are all movies that we didn't really. I would expect Black Panther to be amazing, but these 2 you didn't really expect, but the visuals and the acting really just made it amazing. But Black Panther, we definitely had good expectations for that movie to be great, and it was. And then of course Infinity War, like I just said. Next up, would this be Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm gonna put this at D. I just think, I don't know, it's kind of a movie you'd forget. Obviously, it led to us discovering the time travel thing for Endgame, but that's really the only thing it was good for, in my opinion. I feel like they really, the ghost villain, quote unquote, isn't really the villain, it turns out, or she's like troubled or something. She was troubled more or less than a villain, but I don't know. It's really to introduce Wasp, number one, and number two, to show that Ant-Man knows how to time travel. And that's about all it's good for. Same thing as Thor Ragnarok, showing that Loki will eventually take the throne and Thor is still throwing his hammer around, Obviously, that also shows the Infinity Stone as well, the red one. The red Infinity Stone, what is that, Johnny? Reality? Reality, I believe, right?
Maybe.
It's gotta be. I think so. It should be. Next up, that would be Captain Marvel. Oh, everyone's thinking, oh my gosh, Captain Marvel as a character is really disappointing, really terrible. You're not entirely wrong. The logic of Captain Marvel in the MCU right now is really flawed, and that's why I'm gonna put it at D tier. We saw this whole development. Obviously, Nick Fury was in it. Samuel Jackson, obviously, and the other guy can't come to my mind, but Brie Larson, she delivered a pretty good performance acting wise. I mean, obviously she played the part that they gave her. The writing might not have correctly depicted Carol Danvers. All right, yeah, sorry for this pronunciation, but I'm putting it at D for now. I feel like a lot of people don't like it, and I really same way. Next up, that would make it Endgame. Endgame, I'm put at A tier. Okay. Really good movie. It's just not Infinity War, and I know that I can't put them both at S tier. So you have to have a definitive answer to which one you like better, and I liked Infinity War more. So I'm gonna put Endgame on A. Oh, and also I forgot to cover Infinity War. Come on, it's obvious that the whole ending left us all in shock. Like Thanos winning. No, a lot of people could have predicted it, but most people who just go to see these movies for fun were shocked, and it was just an amazing experience. I remember watching it with one of my friends, and we were just left in shock. Finally, Spider-Man Far From Home, who I mentioned a couple times. I'm going to put that at A tier. I think it's better than the first Homecoming, and Jake Gyllenhaal, one of my favorite actors of all time, just delivers a great performance as Mysterio, and I feel like Tom Holland's character develops a lot, and we get to see him and Zendaya develop a relationship in the movie. Obviously because she's Mary Jane, and I just think it's a really great movie, and it shows what a teenager, like, obviously he's not a teenager in real life, but it shows what a teenage superhero probably would be struggling with, schoolwork. I'd rather be a teenager than be a superhero. And then, I mean, I feel like the story is perfect, and everything about it, the villain made it even better because Jake Gyllenhaal is an excellent actor, and this was just a great performance by him. So yeah, this is my tier list. We're going to go to Johnny next. And yeah, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, of course, let us know. Tweet us or comment down below. And so yeah, if you have anything different, you can always try to make one yourself. This is just tiermaker.com. And of course, you can just make one yourself and send one to us if you'd like. So yeah, Johnny's up next. I'll hand the mic to him.
Okay, we're going to start with my MCU tier list. We're going to start in the beginning with the original Iron Man. Let's see here. The original Iron Man is the first one in the whole MCU out of all the 29 movies now, something like that. But I think it starts off fantastic. I'm going to give it an A. Next, we have The Incredible Hulk. I think it's a really good movie. However, it was kind of meh. Wasn't great, but wasn't like necessarily bad. So I'm gonna put it in the C tier for me. I mean, like, we all love Hulk. I mean, we would really like another solo Hulk movie, but this one just didn't live up to the expectation. neither did the one before this. Next we have Iron Man 2. It was okay. I mean, I liked it. It wasn't anything like fantastic. I'm kind of torn. I would think I want to go B tier here, or sorry, C tier. Then we have the original Thor. I think it was actually pretty solid. Obviously, Hemsworth plays a great role, but obviously we know his character arc, it was pretty tiny in that movie compared to later in his franchise. But I think it was a good way to start off introducing all these different characters: Jane, Thor, Odin's son, and Loki, obviously, which gets a gigantic role in a bunch of these movies. But I think it was a good way to start off these characters. So next we have the first Captain America movie. This was one of my favorite movies in the whole MCU. So I think I want to go with a B here because it wasn't like outstanding, but it wasn't like anything bad necessarily. So let's see if I can find it here. I'm struggling. I don't think that's it.
Which one?
The original Captain America movie.
It's like the one where it's like looks like flames in the back.
Oh, that's it? Okay. I'm going to go with this one as a B. Next, we have the original Avengers movie. Fantastic movie. One of my favorite ones to watch. Obviously, it's like everyone's childhood fantasy, seeing all superheroes together. And it was just awesome. So I'm going to go with this one being my first S tier movie. I loved it. I thought that it was so cool having all of these characters joined together. Next, we have Iron Man 3. Kind of a letdown, to be honest with you. Aldrich Killian and the whole 10 Rings thing, which was ended up being fake. I really didn't care for it, to be honest with you. So this one's going to go in D tier for me. Really didn't like it, to be honest. Next is Thor: The Dark World. Again, another trash movie. Everyone knows that this movie was really bad. It's going to go in the D tier for me. The character arc, again, didn't expand from the original Thor movie, which you thought it would. And the Dark Elves and that whole storyline with Jane, I really didn't care for it, to be honest with you. So I'm going to put it in the D tier. Next we have Captain America and the Winter Soldier. One I really actually did enjoy. So really solid movie, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Another one of my favorite movies. I thought this was pretty cool, seeing Cap and Scarlett Johansson, Nick Fury, Black Widow, them all coming together on the run, introducing a brand new character, the Falcon. This one's going to go in the B tier for me. I really enjoyed it, but it's not like a fantastic one out of all the other ones that are going to be ahead of it. Following that, we have Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought this was a great way to introduce these characters. I really loved it. It's going to go in the A tier for me. I mean, like, you have all these fan favorite characters now: Groot, Peter Quill, Gamora, and Drax, and you can't forget about Rocket the Raccoon. I mean, he is the favorite with Groot. Great pair them together. And following that, we have Age of Ultron. It was a good movie. I don't know, it wasn't anything special, so I'm gonna put this one in the B tier. Next is Ant-Man. Kind of a meh movie. I didn't really care for it. I mean, it introduces a good character, but I don't know, it wasn't as action-packed as all the movies ahead of it. And MCU, you want to see a bunch of fighting scenes and action and character development, which you don't really get from certain aspects of this film. So next we have Captain America: Civil War. This is a S tier movie for me. This is my within my top 3. It is a absolutely fantastic movie. Obviously, we know the comic book, and everything that happens there, and we know that it leaves out some key aspects, obviously like certain characters dying, but they couldn't do that for the film. So this was one of my favorite movies. I'm going to stick it in the S tier along with Avengers. Obviously, it's a fantastic story with them splitting up. We already know that, but it's a great story, and I love it. Following this one, we have Doctor Strange. It was good. It just wasn't anything like really great. The ending was kind of boring, obviously with Dormammu, but I don't know. It didn't really do it for me. I'm going to put it in the B tier. Like, again, it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't really great. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I didn't really love it as much as I thought I would. Following that, we have Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I feel like this one was kind of a letdown, unfortunately, because the first one was so good that it was hard to beat. So it's going to go in the C tier for me. It just wasn't anything really great. Next, we have Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man is my favorite character in the MCU and Marvel in general, my favorite superhero. I'm going to give this one an A. It was awesome. Oh, I'm sorry, I have the wrong one here. That's Far From Home. Here we go. Spider-Man Homecoming. Great movie, great way to introduce Tom Holland into the MCU and Spider-Man into the MCU, besides him being in Civil War, obviously. Just a great film. I really liked it. Next, we have Thor Ragnarok. Another film that is going to go in the S tier for me. It was a great way to finish the trilogy of Thor. And his character arc in that movie was fantastic. The music was awesome. Having Hulk in that movie was awesome. I just thought it was a slam dunk of a film. So following that one, we have Black Panther. Another movie that was an absolute hit. I'm going to put this one in A tier. I just thought it was so good. So, obviously, the characters in this movie were so good. The acting was phenomenal. Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace. He had a fantastic acting in this film. Obviously, we all know that. And all the other characters in it as well. I thought it was such a good movie, so it's going to land in the A tier for me. And following that one, we have Avengers Infinity War. The next and only film that is going into my S tier, the final one out of the rest of these here. I thought it was really, really, really good. Like, obviously leaves all of us on a cliffhanger. So, I mean, that's saying something, right? Let's be honest. It was just fantastic. So it's going to go in the S tier. We all know how it ended. They don't win. And that alone, that cliffhanger having to wait an entire year just to see what happens next, really just put you on your toes and made me love this film. Finally, after that, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp. Kind of a letdown, I'm going to be honest. It wasn't that great of a film. I'm going to put this in the C tier. I mean, it wasn't like necessarily bad, but it just, I don't know, it didn't really like do anything for me. Like, I don't really love the characters, Ant-Man or the Wasp, or the original Ant-Man, not Scott Lang, Pym. I don't know, I don't really care for either of the Ant-Man films, but they're going to both land in C for me. Following that one, we have Captain Marvel. A lot of people say that it's not a great movie and they don't love Captain Marvel. I don't really love Captain Marvel. However, the movie was actually pretty solid, and I'm going to put it in C tier. It wasn't necessarily better or worse than any of these ones in the same tier in the C. However, I think it just wasn't anything really special. So following that one, we have Endgame, which was obviously amazing. Not going to go in the S tier just because the movies ahead of it were fantastic. But I feel like it fits in well with the movies in A tier. And then finally, to wrap up, we have Spider-Man Far From Home. I honestly would say that it's better than the first one, but it's not necessarily like enough to put it in the S tier. Certain people say that it's not that great of a movie, but Jake Gyllenhaal in this movie plays a fantastic role as Mysterio. I loved it. Obviously, we have Nick Fury in this film, and it's going to go in the A tier for me. That wraps up our MCU tier list. Let us know any thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys have your own tier list, let us know what's in your S tier. And Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at WCT2021. All the links down in the description down below. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.